day on the Rift.
Thank you, Freak. And guys, 3-0. All the games were around 30 minutes. The overall kill score of the series was 8-42. It was just a dominant series by LMQ in general. Scarra, you predicted the 3-1 for XDG. How did they change your mind?
Let's just say I was openly optimistic about that 3-1.
Yeah.
It just seemed like, I don't know, it just seemed like the teamwork wasn't there. Because, you know, I thought that XDG would have, like, good looks, and they kind of did for a little bit. Like, it kind of looked good for a little bit of the game, and then they just got rolled. And it, I don't know. I just thought they'd come out with a stronger performance. That's it.
Dominate, overall impression on the series here?
I think it just really speaks a testament to how good LMQ is. They've just been performing like they did everything they needed to do. They came over early. They practiced hard every day. They went through 2 series of Coke Zero, and they just deserve to be in the LCS. So that's pretty much just how I view it.
Yeah, I mean, now that they are in the LCS, especially being a team that did come over from China, what are they going to uniquely bring into the LCS as a team?
I just think their individual play is very, very high. So it's going to be very nice playing against another team, and especially in another mid laner as good as Xiao Zhao. Like, that's going to be very interesting, at least for me, for Summer Split.
How are teams going to have to adapt to LMQ in the LCS now? Dominate.
I think the teams are, at first, just kind of try to play them just like any other team. Maybe we'll see a little bit more like Nidalee bans or something towards them, but I think that they're going to have to kind of prove what they can play at an LCS level, and then from there, teams will kind of adapt and comp around it.
Yeah, something that's so interesting for me is how, even though they are a Chinese team, they've been involved in the North American meta, and they will continue to be. Are they going to be able to keep that Chinese metagame going, or are they going to become another North American team with Chinese players?
I think the Chinese meta just kind of got destroyed with this patch. Like, you don't see aggressive early game dives anymore because it's just not worth it anymore. So I don't think we'll see like a Chinese meta, because I don't think the Chinese meta got pretty broken apart with the last patch.
Yet LMQ in this series was able to go 8-42 and all games in under 30 minutes. Was that just them being superior?
Yeah, I think that was just them playing better. Like, it wasn't an early game lead. I don't think on any portion of the game did they have like a sub 10-minute like huge lead, like a lot of Chinese teams would do in last season or the seasons before. If anything, it was just better mid-game pressure and better teamwork.
Yeah, Dominate. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think it was just mainly just an outperformance. When teams are at like a really high level, once they get the advantage, they're normally pretty quick to close it out. So I think it just really showed that they are like an LCS professional level team, and they know how to close out games.
Yeah, and I also have to look at this now. Obviously, when a team makes it into the LCS, it means another team didn't. XGG had been in the LCS Spring Split 2013, Summer 2013. They've been in it for a while. What do you think happens to these players? Do they go play in Coke League? Do they try to come back? There's still a lot of talent on that team. Do you see some interesting things happening there?
I think maybe some of the players may go to different teams, but I am not sure. I don't know if they'll stick around in the Challengers series. Although I would like them to be, it doesn't feel like their team is going to do that for some reason.
Yeah, especially in between games, we saw them at Game 2 just being demoralized. We all kind of said with that attitude they're going to lose Game 3, but beyond that, Dominate, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I can't really see them staying together after this. I think it's too hard for them personally to have been in the LCS for so long. I think that what they need to do is just have a change. Maybe they keep a couple members from the team and they replace some people. Maybe some players go to different teams. Maybe Benny goes to CLG or something. You never know. But I definitely think that it's going to be hard for them to remain. I don't think that they'll stay as 5.
Yeah, so long together and now unfortunately being knocked out in the LCS. And it's really just been now the first team being dropped out. Europe didn't have any teams. Really quick look going towards tomorrow. How many teams end up being switched out in the North American LCS? We have 1. Do we see 2 or 3?
I personally think it's only going to be 1. I think that LMQ definitely have the best shot of taking it. But the other teams, I think, will have much harder time. EG has been practicing a lot. They obviously want to keep their spot. Coast was fighting for playoffs not that long ago, so I definitely see those teams coming out with a stronger performance.
Scar, quick final thoughts on that?
I think Coast will make it back in. I'm just hesitant to say what I think about the EG game. Like, I think it's slightly favored to EG, but that game is going to probably be the closest series of this week.
All right, well, we'll have to see that tomorrow. Huge thanks to Scar. Huge thanks to LMQ. Thank you guys very much for joining us on the desk. But for now, let's send it back to freaking Kobe for a preview of tomorrow.